In a bustling city, a gigantic man spotted a small, bewildered boy named Lee Sungmin. Sungmin's confusion caught the man's attention. The man, sensing Sungmin's bewilderment, approached and signaled him to stay calm and listen. Sungmin, feeling like he might be in a dream, took a moment to check if this was real. He learned that this place was called Area, a world filled with all sorts of demons and monsters, where everything fought fiercely to survive. This world, the man explained, summons folks from different places like you and me. They were in the City of Beginnings, where the first batch of otherworlders had been brought. The man inquired if Sungmin had any knowledge of martial arts or magic. Sungmin replied with a simple no. The man assumed Sungmin had no class, which left Sungmin puzzled. With patience, the man clarified that class was just a term and promised to explain it slowly. He then invited Sungmin to follow him, insisting they couldn't leave him on his own. As they strolled through a hidden alley, the man asked, "Are you thirsty after being summoned?" Sungmin admitted that he was quite parched, so the man handed him a bottle of water. Sungmin thanked the man wholeheartedly, but, to everyone's surprise, sprayed the man in the face as he took a sip. The liquid in the bottle stung the man's eyes, transforming Sungmin's timid demeanor. He confessed that he'd been pretending to be a clueless novice and revealed the truth. He knew the liquid was goblin paralytic poison due to its subtle, fishy smell. While Sungmin may have acted the part of a beginner, he wasn't as naive as he seemed. The man's earlier assumptions were correct. Sungmin had just been summoned and had no class. However, he had a remarkable 13 years of experience. With incredible agility, Sungmin delivered a swift knee kick to the man's groin despite the immense size difference between them. He snatched a knife from the man's vest and used it to devastating effect, slashing the man's throat. In the final moments, Sungmin reminded the man of a crucial rule in Area: don't trust others easily. After this confrontation, Sungmin had amassed 100,000 ER and a single dagger, not a fortune but certainly better than nothing. Reflecting on his own body, Sungmin noticed an absence of scars or muscles, leading him to a remarkable conclusion. He had been transported back 13 years to the time when he was first summoned to Area. Back then, Sungmin was a 27-year-old C-rank mercenary struggling to make ends meet in Area's lower-class society. Lee Sungmin had always felt like he was stuck in a rut. No talent, no special background. It was like he was destined to stay at the bottom. He tried so hard, but nothing seemed to work. Then one day he stumbled upon something that changed everything: an undiscovered dungeon. It took a lot of effort, but he managed to find a single treasure chest. He opened it, hoping for something incredible, but all he found was a tiny rock. It was puzzling, so he kept it with him, even though he didn't know what it was for. But that rock turned out to be his ticket out of his miserable life. It had the power to take him back in time, a stone of regression. Sungmin checked his stats, hoping for a miracle, but they were the same as when he was first summoned 13 years ago. At first he felt disappointed, but then he realized he had something even more valuable: 13 years of memories. With those memories he could do things he couldn't before. In Area, a world filled with otherworldly beings being no class was common. It was a blank slate, a chance to learn anything with a special growth bonus. But it also meant you were at the bottom, struggling to survive. Sungmin had lived as a C-rank mercenary, enduring hardships and humiliation, but in the end he died without achieving much. So he made a promise to himself. He'd do whatever it took to become stronger. Before we continue, take a moment to answer the question of the day. What job would you take in a fantasy world? Comment down below for a chance to be shouted out. Now back to the recap. His journey led him to the Healthy Bone Realignment Office, where he asked for a skeleton remodeling procedure. This procedure gave him a low-rank martial skeleton and a true heaven cultivation technique. It was a rare opportunity, one he couldn't have gotten 13 years ago. The martial skeleton allowed him to learn martial arts easily. To get this chance, you had to be no class and have no skills learned. The man performing the procedure offered to do it for free in exchange for some advertising. In his past life, the doctor who did the procedure had died, so few people had this opportunity. Now, with the martial skeleton and the no-class growth bonus, Sungmin knew he could become stronger faster than ever before. The True Heaven cultivation technique is a special method for gathering inner strength. It's like the starting point for all energy cultivation. These techniques come in different types. Some are better at making your energy stable, while others make it stronger faster. The one Sungmin learned in his past life was just ordinary, not the best. But then, he found something incredible in an old library in Xenovis, a first-rate technique hidden away. The library owner didn't know its value, so Sungmin got it for almost nothing. Now he's aiming for the final opportunity, a big prize in the Colosseum next year. It's not too tough to get in, but he has to stay here in Xenovis to get stronger. Right now, he needs cash for a place to stay, like 30,000 ER every day. So he's thinking about hunting monsters to make money. He spots a guy selling armor and sees a chest vest he likes. The seller says it might fit him, and Sungmin tries to buy it along with a spear and 2 daggers. But the seller's like, "Do you even have enough money, kid?" Sungmin shows him he's got 60,000 ER. The seller bursts into laughter, saying it'll take at least 300,000 ER for all that. Sungmin asks if he can put it on credit, but the guy says no way. So Sungmin offers to sell his clothes and asks how much he'd get for them. The guy's not convinced, even though Sungmin's trying his best. He chuckles at how Sungmin looked all innocent before but now seems desperate. Finally the guy agrees. He tells Sungmin to take what he wants and he'll cover the rest as credit. He likes Sungmin's determination and thinks he'll be a regular. "Just make sure to pay back the 250,000 ER soon," he says. Sungmin thanks the man, feeling a bit puzzled by his attitude. Having armor is vital for surviving, even if it's light armor. It was a good call to buy it, even if it meant a struggle. Acts of kindness like this weren't common in area. Sungmin wonders if the guy might have some ulterior motive. Now, he's out in the hunting grounds, remembering when he first came here 13 years ago, feeling utterly pathetic. But now, he's better prepared and can take down monsters with ease. He's got his spear, and it's a one-shot, one-kill technique. It's tricky, and it burns if you're not used to it. So he decides to toughen up his hands. As he goes about his training in a dark and eerie room somewhere, a mysterious person with long green hair and a black robe meditates, surrounded by red mist. Blue particles begin to appear, which catch the person by surprise, and he is greeted and welcomed by Jack Ajusi, a worker at the shop. He hands over the accommodation fee to Jack. Jack then asks him where he bought the dimensional pouch from, since an item like that would cost close to $1 million. Sungmin says that he got it cheaply from the merchant he deals with frequently. He hands over goblin teeth and body fluids to Jack, and for the amount he has given him, Jack will let him stay in the inn for 2 days. Jack then compliments Sungmin, telling him that when he first came up to him, he suggested using monster byproducts to pay for accommodation. He also looked like he was about to die soon. It has been 2 weeks since Sungmin has stayed in Jack's inn, and he has hunted down monsters every day since then. Jack wonders if this is what being talented feels like. Jack is starting to annoy Sungmin, so he just walks away while Jack continues blabbering. Sungmin is still upset about Jack's comment about him being talented. He thinks that it's a word that doesn't suit him because he was so untalented back then. After he suffered a lot, he ended his previous life as a C-class mercenary. Sungmin is able to learn martial arts by remembering how they worked in his previous life, but the techniques he has relearned are just second-rate martial arts. No matter how hard he learns the second-rate martial arts, he can't climb his way up. The only hope he has is the first-rate cultivation technique, the pure heavenly cultivation technique. He uses the technique in order to get strong in martial arts. The next day comes and a girl in the inn asks Sungmin if he is going to the forest again. She then asks him why he is always hunting in the woods since he is putting his life at risk by being there. This girl is the daughter of Jack and Lula. Sungmin then responds to her saying that it is because he is an otherworlder, so if he wants to survive he has to catch monsters to make money. She then scolds him, calling him a fool, and explains to him that there are other jobs that he could do. She then recommends to him a job working at their inn, since her dad has already grown a liking for him. He refuses this offer, saying that he doesn't know how to cook or clean. Lula can't seem to understand Sungmin. He leaves and tells Lula that he will be back by dinner. In his past life, he lived while compromising with others. He could do that again, but he doesn't want to live like that. This time he will try to obtain the things he has envied, and he will do anything it takes to live a better life than his previous one. The noon bell strikes, which means another otherworlder will be summoned. A portal appears near a fountain, and a young person with red eyes wearing a robe comes out. Sungmin wonders if this person knows martial arts and if they are the same age as him. The person gets approached by a bunch of thugs and gets offered a bottle of water, just like Sungmin when he was first summoned. Sungmin turns away, but he bumps into a tall, bulky man. The man punches Sungmin in the face and throws him to the ground. The citizens around them begin to get concerned about the commotion they are causing. People start whispering, wondering what's happening. The bulky man, whose name turns out to be Hyung Nim, steps forward and tries to explain the situation. He tells them that Sungmin broke his nose and that he's teaching him a lesson. But the citizens, they just shake their heads and go back to their own business. In Xenovis, folks tend to mind their own affairs. They don't want to get mixed up in other people's troubles. As Hyung Nim continues talking, Sungmin watches him closely. He remembers Hyung Nim from earlier, when he was with those other thugs. Sungmin can tell that Hyung Nim is no ordinary street brawler. The way he handled himself earlier, it's clear he's got some martial arts skills. Sungmin knows a bit about martial arts. There are different levels, and you can spot a martial artist level by how good they are. Third-rate martial artists are the lowest level, and you can get there pretty quickly with just a bit of training. But Sungmin, well, he's not even at that level yet. He knows he can't win this fight on his own. And the people here, they're not about to jump in and help him. What will happen next? Find out next time by staying tuned for our future recaps. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more great recaps.